This better do something good, because I look like super dumb. Hello, friends, and welcome to another video. Today, I'm going to be attempting to glow up on the longest flight in the world. We've got 19 hours. So I guess we'll see if that's enough. Thanks to SimpliSafe for sponsoring a portion of this video, because there's no safe like SimpliSafe. Now, we do like to travel on this channel to see some of the craziest things we've seen online IRL, like a hot tub full of wine, a hotel made completely out of ice, a building shaped like a wheel of cheese. So we've done plenty of long-haul flights in our time, and generally, I don't mind flying, but there's no question that it can take a toll, as no matter how you enter a plane, you usually exit in complete disarray. Dry, dehydrated, stinky, bloated, just generally not looking good. But it seems like the internet now has an answer for this, as a new genre of content has emerged on my For You pages. Long-haul flight hacks and even in-flight beauty routines to help you arrive at your destination refreshed, beautiful, rested, glowing, with full-on skincare regimens, hair curlers, compression socks. I guess so you can jump off the plane ready to explore your destination, go out to the club, or meet your 90-day fiancé, presumably without having to do this for 30 minutes in the baggage claim bathroom. And even though my 90-day fiancé is usually next to me, similarly stinky, I am interested, because I usually exit the plane incredibly musty and crusty. And we just happened to be on our way to Singapore and Malaysia for a couple of weeks for a content trip, and have 2 seats on the longest non-stop flight in the world, from JFK to Changi Airport in Singapore. So I analyzed a few of these videos and put them together into a mega in-flight beauty and wellness routine that I could follow in the most extreme situation possible, which will hopefully allow me to arrive at my destination without a clot in my leg or a blemish on my face. All right, let's see how it goes. But before we jet off, I just want to take a second to thank the sponsor of this video, SimpliSafe, because nothing gives you more peace of mind when traveling than knowing your home is secure. Now, if you don't know, SimpliSafe is a whole home comprehensive security system that we actually use at our office,
SimpliSafe on,
to guard such treasures as our giant hard drive, actually valuable, and our giant foam lipstick, debatably valuable. And SimpliSafe is so much more than just a basic alarm system, as they offer a huge range of different products, like glass break sensors, doorbell cameras to protect your packages from porch thieves, interior cameras, and temperature sensors that all integrate seamlessly into a single app, which lets you arm and disarm your system and manage features, as well as access your camera feeds, giving you full control of your security from anywhere, anytime. And SimpliSafe's cameras are pretty advanced. Old school alarm systems only trigger after someone breaks in, but with SimpliSafe ActiveGuard, monitoring agents react in real time to suspicious individuals approaching your home. They can see and speak to them, trigger alarms and spotlights, and dispatch first responders to your home if they need to. We can't actually show you our outdoor camera feed because it shows too much, but here is our outdoor camera set up inside our office. And thankfully, ActiveGuard won't react to neighbors, mailmen, or cat sitters, or giant mannequins, if that's something you also have positioned in view of the camera. SimpliSafe doesn't lock you into a contract like other home security systems, there are no cancellation fees, and their monitoring plans are budget-friendly, starting at around $1 a day. And right now, you can save 60% off your SimpliSafe security system when you sign up for a select professional monitoring plan, and get your first month free. So make sure to go to simplisafe.com/Safiya to customize your plan today, because there's no safe like SimpliSafe. Hey, that's pretty catchy. Okay, we got a plane to catch. So our tale begins at JFK on an early evening in July.
Welcome to the party.
Now, I'm pretty sure that the longest non-stop flight in the world only flies once a day and leaves from JFK at 10:20 p.m.
We showed up, it's 10 p.m., and we're gonna get on the plane.
And this is a lot more than just your usual red-eye, as it clocks in at a whopping 18 hours and 40 minutes. And with the time differences, you leave New York at 10 p.m. and get to Singapore at 6 a.m. 2 days later.
So it's Tuesday night, but we get there on Thursday morning.
Singapore time.
Exactly.
Yes.
But all the more time to test some hacks. So here are the requisite before shots of my face.
Glowed down.
I feel like the lighting at the different airports will also contribute to the before and after, right?
This is your before shot featuring JFK.
Now it's time to board that plane, baby.
That's us, baby. Put me in that tin can.
I pre-gamed the flight with an extra liter of water, so I already have to pee.
Usually bad flying protocol. Chug water.
And the plane that usually flies this route is the Airbus A350 Ultra Long Range, which is not the Singapore Airlines plane that has those crazy $20,000 suites where you just have a hotel room basically. It is instead optimized for super long flights, so it carries more fuel and a lot fewer passengers than other planes of its size at 161. There are a lot of business class seats and then a premium economy section, which are technically the worst seats in the house as there's no regular economy.
Premium economy, baby.
All right, come on in. We gotta get our stuff settled.
But I figure if you're really trying to test these hacks, you can't be in a fancy seat, because that's just a flight hack in and of itself.
Get ready to glow up.
Uh-oh, we're moving.
And our flight path is kind of crazy, as it seems like we're going to be going straight north over Canada, the Arctic Circle, Siberia, and then China.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the longest flight in the world.
I guess Canada, here we come, baby.
They don't have below deck, unfortunately, so I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Now, I've heard that Singapore Airlines Premium Economy is supposed to be pretty nice, and it's not so bad, honestly. It's pretty roomy. We have these little nice side tray tables, which I always think are fancier than like the ones that flip down from the seat in front. I've got this reading light. I've got some outlets. We've got a pillow, blankets. We got a lot of stuff, all right? And notably, we also had some hooks for hanging stuff. Business class E your heart out.
Oh, nice.
Taxi the noise.
You might have a bet. What I got?
Yeah.
Both directions.
But do you have one of these?
6 down
I mean, probably.
Now, the other dynamic here is that because the flight is so long, we kind of have to figure out how to break up our time and our hacks. We're gonna wanna sleep at some point for at least a few hours, and we're gonna wanna do most of our beauty hacks after that, so we're gonna do most of our other miscellaneous hacks first. Starting with the simplest but potentially hardest one, not immediately falling asleep. Now, the idea behind this hack is that on the plane, you wanna preemptively try and get on your destination's time zone to beat jet lag. So like sleep when it's nighttime there. So Singapore is 12 hours ahead of Eastern time, so it's like literally the exact opposite. So we think that a reasonable goal would be to stay up for like 6 hours, which would get us to like 5 p.m. Singapore time. A decent compromise. But after a quick pee break, it was time for activity 1, supper.
Top was peeing, so should we get a towel? Leftover towel?
What's nice?
It's pretty nice.
Singapore Airlines food is famously supposed to be pretty good, so our expectations were high.
Look at that prawn. Prawns on a plane.
And I would say they had a pretty good spread.
This is most of a wheel of brie. Tastes like brie.
And though I wouldn't say it was mind-blowing, it all tasted at least decent.
We think this is bread pudding.
Oh, it's so good. Oh.
Now, a quick disclaimer here, we're gonna be using these mics for most of this video.
Pretty good meal. I like this mic. It makes it feel like I'm like interviewing on the street.
I know. We look cool, like Ryan Trahan.
Which does take out a lot of the background noise, so it sounds like I'm talking full-voiced, but here is what it actually sounded like most of the time.
I like this mic. It makes it feel like I'm like interviewing on the street.
I know. We look cool, like Ryan Trahan.
And a lot of the time, it actually sounded more like this.
I think they might be dimming the lights.
So while it's possible it was still a little noticeable that we were filming, we tried our hardest to be as not annoying as possible.
All right, I think we're in Canadian airspace.
Now, after supper, up next were our table setting, health, and wellness hacks to try and protect our bodies from the toll of long-haul flights.
This is Operation Circulation and Calibration. Right?
And hydration.
Oh, yeah.
The air inside airplane cabins is usually very dry because they actually pull in air from outside through the engines, and air at higher altitudes has very little moisture content. So our first hack was to drink a ton of water.
All right, should we chug?
Chug away, man.
The Aerospace Medical Association recommends that you drink 8 ounces of water per hour of flight. So for us, that's 8 times 18. So we were gonna need to drink about 4.26 liters of water during our flight to stave off dehydration.
I also like this dramatic lighting and her just making aggressive eye contact.
We had 1.62 liters in front of us, so we were gonna try and down all of this in the first part of our flight and then ask for some refills.
Welcome to the urination station.
Luckily, I am the aisle, so there's no like arbitrary arbiter of the pee.
Part 2 of hydration was to lubricate Tyler's nostrils.
First, we hydrate the body, then the nasal cavity.
because his nostrils do have a penchant to be dry and painful. So he brought this advanced flight nasal spray, which doesn't have any medicine in it. It's pretty much just pure moisture.
Oh, minty. Eucalyptusy. It smells amazing, but it's way up there.
But Tyler seemed to like it, and actually says he thinks it helped him throughout the flight.
Would it be really gross if I did it too? It'd be gross, right?
Beyond hydration, we also wanted to attempt to improve our circulation, as changes in air pressure and prolonged periods of sitting can lead to blood pooling in your legs and an increased risk of blood clots. So first up was compression socks.
Look at that hardcore logo. Stamina. Looks vaguely medical.
Which are, I'm pretty sure, just like tight and thick socks.
All right, please excuse my stubble. I didn't realize we'd be looking at my calves.
But can help increase blood circulation as well as decrease leg swelling and pain.
They're supposed to compress, right? Because they're compressing. Oh, actually, maybe it feels good. They're pretty tight.
And I can't say if they were the reason why.
Cute. Hot dogs or legs.
But we did emerge from this flight without a clot. So maybe they worked. And then another thing that a ton of people recommend is some kind of stretching or movement throughout the flight. We saw a few videos of people doing yoga like in the aisle of the plane, which seemed a bit extreme.
We might pace up and down, but I do think stopping and doing yoga in the middle of the aisle might be too far.
But thankfully, there were plenty of in-chair yoga routines to try.
The figure 4 stretches are actually really good. Because like your butt is what really needs it, right? Because you're sitting so much. That and the twists. Those are key.
And all of those hacks took us about an hour. So we still had 3 hours left to kill before we hit our goal, bedtime.
All right, you see the sun. It is rising. They actually want us to put the shades down once the sun is up.
And in order to make sure we stayed awake,
We need a 3-hour movie.
and for this, we couldn't risk some Sydney Sweeney rom-com, okay?
I have an idea.
We had to bring out the big guns. Seems like Lord of the Rings is the only thing on the menu, boys. Now, 3 hours later, it was finally time for bed. And as we were about to start getting ready, I checked our flight tracker, and it actually looked like we were rerouted at some point.
Because suddenly we're over Amsterdam. And I thought we were going over Siberia.
Not 100% sure why, but this made our new route pretty much just across the entire continent of Eurasia, which was kind of exciting. Now, Singapore Airlines does give you a little overnight kit, which had all the staples,
Including toothbrush and toothpaste, which I'm excited about because I completely forgot.
We also got a sleeping mask, a branded lip balm, and then
The piece de resistance. Slippers.
all of which would help with our bedtime routine. And then, this isn't really a hack, but more of a necessity.
I forgot my pajamas, but I remembered a second pair of underwear.
We have loose underwear here, people.
But with gear in tow, I headed to the bathroom to brush my teeth.
I love the tiny tube of toothpaste.
Which is also maybe not a hack,
Cheers.
but it is good hygiene.
I put a lot of toothpaste on there.
I also brought some individual bagged mouthwash, which I had seen some people use, which did not feel as intense as like a Listerine, but did have kind of almost like a pepperminty candy cane kind of flavor.
That was great. Wow. Bagged mouthwash. Not sure about the cleansing effects, but the taste, top notch.
So with my teeth routine down,
Forgot to do a before and after of my teeth.
it was time for our nighttime skincare routine.
I say nighttime, but it's not really nighttime anywhere. It's 5:27 a.m. in New York and it's 5:27 p.m. in Singapore. I think it's like noon in Berlin. It's not nighttime anywhere right now.
Now, it seems like skincare routines on planes are kind of contentious. Some people say you shouldn't do them to avoid getting germs from the plane onto your face. Some people swear by them, but generally, people agree that you should try to avoid touching your face directly as much as possible. So the name of the game is sprays and sticks and hand sanitizer.
Also, some of these items we had to put in little like carry-on spray bottles because they were too big. So some of them are just the exact same looking spray bottles.
And beyond cleansing, the idea behind an in-flight skincare routine is to choose products that will help you avoid transepidermal water loss, or TEWL, as the dry air in the cabin will try and sap the moisture from your face.
I look like a donut right now. Glazed.
So that means choosing products with hydrating and plumping active ingredients, as well as ones that strengthen your skin barrier.
That one didn't translate so well into the spray bottle. It didn't come out as a mist. It came out more as just like a squirt, like a water gun. So I'm gonna put that on one of the cotton rounds.
Some of these were just products I like or had that had the right active ingredients, though I did specifically get this serum because I saw it in a TikTok and I was interested by how pink it was.
Going for that Pepto-Bismol look.
Yes, I am. I love Pepto-Bismol.
And I would say I definitely looked more moisturized after the whole routine, but the real win was that I felt way more refreshed and less usual plain stale.
Super pleasant. 10 out of 10. I'm feeling pretty good.
So far, so good. Now for this trip, we knew we had to get some cool travel pillows we had seen online that are supposed to help you hack sleeping on a plane.
So we're gonna see which travel pillow is the best. We are at the forefront of travel pillow technology here, okay?
Starting with the Turtle, which is sort of a scarfy looking neck pillow.
The motto is loop, wrap, nap. So let's see if we can do that. I think it's supposed to be like sort of like a neck brace. You know what I mean? Like a comfortable neck brace. Does this look right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I wrapped it too tight.
And though it did feel kind of constricting at first, I can see the vision.
All right, and then I kind of like lean onto it, right? Like this. It's actually not that bad. This plus window is actually a good combination because your head is supported and your neck is supported.
So, an early contender.
All right, that's option number one. And Tyler, you get whichever one I don't like.
The next pillow we brought is the Seat Sleeper.
This, I think, is a head strap. It straps you to the seat. So you don't like, if you're like a head bobbing sleeper, you'll get like restrained.
In theory, this could work well for me, since I am totally a head bobbing sleeper.
I need a little more.
But we had a hard time getting the strap to stay, and I was worried that it could mess with the people behind us' screen.
It doesn't feel like this is the ideal chair for this. It feels like the chair is too wide.
If I let go, it's just gonna fall. Yeah.
So we quickly retired it.
I feel like you need like a smaller chair for this to work. And then the last travel pillow is the one I'm the most excited about. This is the ostrich travel pillow, and it looks like a thneed. There seem to be many ways to use this thing. One of them is to wear it like a vest, I think.
Apparently in this picture, the person is just holding it. It was a bit of a confusing visual.
I think another way is to just stick your head straight into it.
But the general idea here is that you basically like don this sensory deprivation helmet, so you're in a dark, restful cavern.
I legitimately can't see anything.
Like an ostrich sticking its head in a hole in the ground.
I can't tell if it's comfortable or not. It's just adding a layer of padding around your head.
It is filled with little foam microbeads, so it's very light and soft, and I don't know if it was my reaction or the one Tyler wanted the whole time.
All right, which one do you want, Ty?
But he chose the ostrich, which is totally cool because I wanted the turtle. And so once strapped/stuck in, we finally passed out. And after a quick snooze, we were finally solidly 2/3 of the way through our flight. And as for an official review of our pillows,
I actually slept pretty well in here, except my chin kind of hurts.
I definitely like the turtle, but it's not perfect.
I was like supporting my whole face on my chin.
And surprisingly, I think the ostrich was a win.
I'm pretty sure everyone that walked by me thought I was crazy, but I was just like so tucked away in there that I didn't really care.
I think the vibe with this one is that you just have to embrace the look, even if that means looking like some kind of Lovecraftian monster.
What is that?
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty good.
Thankfully, they still decided to serve Tyler breakfast.
Breakfast time.
I got a scrambled egg dish with beans and mushrooms,
Wait, it's like British.
and Tyler got a fried noodle dish with chicken.
All right, that's really good.
Oh yeah.
I think for dinner, I had the better meal, but for breakfast, Tyler was the clear winner here. But overall, it was certainly good enough.
That'll do, for sure. I want to go back to sleep, and I know I can't.
No, it was time to wake up, because I had a lot of glowing up left to do. Starting with my hair. Now, a lot of people who do in-flight beauty routines include some version of these viral heatless curlers,
Which I have been seeing on the internet for a very long time, but I've never tried. And I am somewhat intimidated by them because I'm not good at curling my hair.
with the goal of having bouncy, glamorous hair when you walk off the plane. Sounds good to me.
It's got wire in it like a pipe cleaner.
I think the idea here is that you clip this flexible tube on top of your head and then part your hair into sections, and then one by one wrap each section of hair around the tube. There may be more advanced techniques than this, but that was about as much as I could handle.
Is this good?
And once you are done with one side of your hair, you move on to the other. Though after I had one half of my hair done, I realized that somehow I didn't have enough tube left to fully do the other side, so I had to start over. Now it says that you should leave these in for at least 4 to 6 hours to get good curls, so we were right on the edge of that. I think best practice is to do it with damp hair and leave it on overnight, but if we had it on to start, we couldn't have done our travel pillow test.
So that's why it's happening now. But we're gonna try and get something going.
We got 5 hours here. There's still a chance.
And on take 2, my noodle was still lopsided,
Yeah, I'm 100% gonna have the same problem.
but it was better than before. So we're going with it.
It doesn't look great, but I think the principle is there.
And just to try and help, I did spray my hair down with a little water.
All right, we're going with that. We're gonna see what happens.
So with the hair attempted, after a round of cleansing and toning, it was time for the mask. Now, doing sheet masks is a popular flying hack as a way to help moisturize your skin on the dry-ass plane. We opted for this viral biodance mask that I saw a lot of people using.
The ones that like melt into your skin, we're gonna try it.
Specifically because it goes on white, but then after a few hours, fully sets and turns clear. So it's perfect for a flight where you're not going anywhere.
All right, so the mask is on. It's very fragile. I like nicked a piece by my nose already.
And once on my face, it almost felt like a really thin plastic and kind of smelled like it too.
It's almost like a tarp, like a pool cover for my face.
But it did feel nice and cool. Now, I was worried that this whole getup would be embarrassing, but I was mostly in my seat, at one point napping, and even when I was up to stretch, I got very few strange looks. I think at 14 hours in, everyone was on wackadoodle time. Once fully cooked, the mask did get really clear, kind of dry and thin, and almost sort of rice paper-esque.
I can't really smile, so I feel like I look really angry right now.
You do look menacing. Like a collagen King Tut.
For some reason, I thought it would like completely dissolve and melt into the skin, but no, it had to be peeled off.
Oh damn, that's grotesque.
But once it came off, honestly, I think my skin actually looked pretty bouncy and plumped.
I did just shed a layer of skin like a snake, but I do feel pretty moisturized, honestly.
Like when reviewing this footage, this is probably the best my skin looks in the video. So this one I might consider doing again. Now this next hack is a little bit of a wild card, as I have seen a few people use full LED masks in their plane routine videos, but I was worried those might be a little too bright for the plane. So I figured these little LED under eye bag masks were kind of a more travel-friendly version of the real thing.
Is this how it works? They're not sticking. I think I have to hold them. Oh, I think I have to hold them.
These were supposed to stick directly onto my face, but whether it was weak adhesive or the fact that I was very moisturized, I did struggle a bit.
If I smile, my cheekbones hold it in place. Makes me even more menacing. I feel like I look like the guy who framed Roger Rabbit.
Now, red light LED masks are supposed to help reduce inflammation and stimulate collagen production, leading to bouncier, younger looking skin.
This better do something good, because I look like super dumb.
You aren't supposed to see immediate results, I don't think. It's more of a consistent use for payoff kind of deal.
I feel like I am like the plane right now. I'm like blinking. Beep. Beep.
And a lot of people swear by it, but it doesn't seem to have anything to do with the plane specifically. So I guess it's more of a general time-killing hack here.
All right, they turned off. My vision was so red for so long.
Now, we bought these ones off of Amazon, but the listing has since disappeared, and the box says they're supposed to have some massaging action, but they definitely don't, so these might not be the most legit.
Do my under eyes look brightened? Maybe. I think you have to do it a lot. It was kind of fun though.
So I might need to invest in a more official pair. Now, post-masks, I was supposed to do even more skincare, but I was kind of over it, so I just quickly did a gua sha routine.
Can I watch Godzilla while you gua sha?
Yeah. Godzilla?
Which people like to do on the plane to fight fluid retention in the face caused by low air pressure and prolonged sitting.
All right, what do we think? Sculpted? Deep float cord.
And after a nice draining session, I just went back in with my eye stick and some SPF to finish it off. And thus, the skincare chapter was finally closed. It was at this time that our end of flight snack arrived, a little pizza in a little box, but just to make sure I didn't accidentally run out of time, we decided
Makeup first, then pizza.
Now, most people who include makeup in their flight glow-up routines don't do like full glam, mostly just a bit of glowy clean girl style makeup to top off their hydrated skin.
This is gonna be makeup plus turbulence. Please remain calm.
Gentlemen, due to turbulence weather, please return to your seat and fasten your seatbelt.
So I went with a few products that I saw in other people's videos that also fulfilled our goal of touching my face with my hands as little as possible. Unfortunately, since we were finally nearing the end of our flight, they started slowly brightening the cabin with some pink light.
Somehow the brightening cabin is like messing with my vibe. I can't see anything right now.
Which made this like a slight version of the red light makeup challenge, but I figured as long as I blended it out well enough, I should be okay. And that worked out pretty well for me up until the mascara.
Oh my god.
Which was pretty hard, especially since the plane was bouncing up and down just a little bit.
All right, that's gotta be good enough, right? There is mascara in my eyeball right now.
But I finally finished, with like 20 minutes left of our flight to spare.
All right, I'm gonna go for a bite of pizza and then the rest of my water. If I finish this water, I'll be at 3.8 liters, which is pretty good.
The pizza was okay. Could have been better if I had eaten it while it was hot.
One thing that makes the 18 hours go by fast is filming a video. It almost felt like we were running out of time.
And right on cue, our 18 hours were up, and we had arrived. And it was finally time to hop off the plane and see how we had done.
Welcome to Singapore.
Now, I had kept my hair curlers in until the very end of the flight, just to give our curls the best chance possible.
All right, taking them out.
But once off the plane, the very last thing to do to complete my glow up was to unveil the locks.
Are they really stuck in there?
And initially, things seemed a little funky.
You might want to brush it through your head, but I kind of like the idea.
But once I had run my fingers through the theoretical curls,
I actually kind of like it.
Did it work?
It did kind of work.
Kind of?
Kind of. Oh, it's pretty.
Yeah?
Oh, it's very pretty. There's one weird curl, but it's very pretty.
and with all of our hacks done, I guess the question is, did we glow up?
So overall, I do feel pretty good, I would say. Coming off an 18-hour flight, I do feel pretty good.
I think the before and afters do show some positive vector, but even under the makeup, I do feel pretty moisturized and hydrated. And admittedly, a lot better than I usually do after walking off a plane, though there may still be a hint of staleness. Now, our flight routine here was incredibly long because we had a lot of time and I wanted to test out a lot of hacks, but I don't think I would do them all again as it was a lot to manage.
There were things that were up in the overhead compartment, there were things at our feet, I was holding things, there were things in my pocket, like there was just a lot of stuff.
But there were a few things I did like that I would try again on our next flight. I think drinking all of that water was one of the hardest hacks, but probably worth it. The disappearing face mask was also a win, and maybe next time we'll bring 2 nasal sprays, so I can have one too. And I'm willing to try the hair curlers again, but just not on the plane.
The hair looks pretty good. It's gonna be gone in like 2 seconds. It's already falling out. My hair needs like hairspray to make this kind of stuff stay, but not the worst.
But now we were in Singapore, and the party could really begin.
4 a.m. in Singapore.
Oh yeah. We're here, baby.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked that video, make sure to shamash that like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to shamash that subscribe button. Here are our short form / social media handles, and here's our merch website. And with that, I will see you guys next time.